Old Man Frank's Shopping Mall. Shenanigans, a comedy of errors. Ever wonder what happens when an elderly gentleman with a penchant for chaos decides to conquer the local shopping mall? Buckle up, because Old Man Frank is about to turn a simple errand into an epic saga of misadventures. Frank, a silver fox with a twinkle in his eye and a mischievous grin, stands beside his driveway. Benson, his ever-patient chauffeur, hovers near a gleaming black car, door ajar, radiating an aura of quiet resignation. "Sir, the limousine awaits. I assure you, a swift and uneventful trip to the mall and back is guaranteed. No llama parades this time, I hope." Waving a dismissive hand. "Benson, my dear boy, your dedication is admirable, but today I yearn for the thrill of the open road. I shall pilot my own vessel, like a captain charting his course through uncharted waters." Eyes narrowing with a hint of dread. "Sir, with all due respect, the last time you piloted your own vessel, you mistook a roundabout for a merry-go-round and nearly caused an international incident involving a flock of pigeons." Scoffs dramatically. "A mere navigational hiccup, a slight detour on the grand tapestry of life. Now hand over the keys, Benson. Adventure beckons, and I shall answer its call with gusto." Frank snatches the keys with theatrical flair, struts towards his vintage, slightly dented automobile, and after a series of sputtering coughs and near misses, manages to coax it to life. The engine roars like a grumpy dragon clearing its throat. Frank, brimming with confidence, peels out of his mansion's driveway, the sweet sounds of Dixieland jazz blasting from his ancient cassette player. He's a man on a mission, or so he thinks. Chuckling to himself. "Ah, freedom! The wind in my hair, the sun on my face, and the open road stretching before me like a blank canvas waiting to be painted with the vibrant colors of my escapades." Suddenly, a robotic voice cuts through the music like a rusty saw. "In 300 feet, make a right turn. Failure to comply may result in disorientation and existential angst." Furiously twisting a knob on the dashboard. "Silence, you metallic meddler! I know this town like the back of my hand. I've been lost here for 80 years. He accidentally turns left, sending the GPS into a digital meltdown. Recalculating. Prepare for immediate U-turn. Your current trajectory is leading you towards a cornfield and potential encounters with disgruntled scarecrows." Muttering under his breath. "Bossy contraption. Thinks it knows better than me? I'll show it who's the master of this domain." He stubbornly ignores the GPS's increasingly frantic pleas and barrels straight ahead. Moments later, he finds himself face to face with a toll booth, manned by a toll attendant who looks like he's seen it all. "Sir, this is the express lane for oversized vehicles and existential crises. Are you sure you're in the right place?" Puffing out his chest. "Indeed, young man. I too carry precious cargo, dignity, wisdom, and a healthy dose of reckless abandon." The toll attendant, defeated, sighs and waves him through. Frank continues his journey, blissfully unaware that he's now hurtling towards the vast, uncharted territories of the countryside. Frank eventually screeches to a halt at what he believes is the grand shopping mall. However, it's actually a bustling flea market, teeming with vintage treasures and questionable bargains. Stretching his limbs with a groan. Ah, the hallowed halls of commerce. Time to acquire the sustenance necessary for a gentleman of my stature. A vendor, sporting a handlebar mustache and a mischievous glint in his eye, approaches Frank. "Sir, might I interest you in a genuine vintage accordion, perfect for serenading your loved ones or annoying your neighbors?" Stroking his chin thoughtfully. An accordion. I suppose I could use some background music for my dramatic entrances. How much for this symphony of squeeze boxery? Cut to Frank, struggling to wrestle the accordion into the passenger seat. The car honks in protest as he fumbles with the instrument. It's a scene of pure comedic chaos. Hours later, Frank finally stumbles upon the real shopping mall, much to the dismay of the parking lot security guard, who watches in horror as Frank attempts to parallel park with the grace of a drunken rhinoceros. Gritting his teeth, "Sir, that's 4 parking spaces. Are you aware that you've effectively created your own personal parking kingdom?" Nodding proudly, "Precisely. A gentleman requires ample room to stretch his legs and contemplate the mysteries of the universe." Inside the mall, Frank confidently strides into a grocery store, his shopping list clutched in his hand like a sacred scroll. Let's see. Eggs, bread, milk, and, yes, the essentials for a balanced diet and a fulfilling life. A brightly colored sign catches his eye. "Buy 5 cans of peaches, get 1 free." Pauses, his eyes widening with avarice. "Peaches? I don't particularly need peaches." Beat. Grinning like a Cheshire cat. "But a free can is a free can. The mathematics are undeniable." Cut to Frank, pushing a shopping cart overflowing with peaches. He's like a peach-hoarding dragon guarding his golden hoard. As he reaches the checkout, he pats his pockets with growing alarm. "Wait, where's my wallet? Has it eloped with a younger, richer pocketbook?" A montage ensues, Frank retracing his steps, interrogating mannequins with the intensity of a seasoned detective, blaming the escalators for their treacherous ways, and briefly contemplating whether a magician has pilfered his precious funds. Frank emerges from the mall victorious, albeit walletless, only to be confronted with a new crisis. He can't remember where he parked his car. Eyes darting around in a panic. "Where's my trusty steed? Has it been abducted by aliens? Did it simply wander off in search of greener pastures?" Flashback reveals Frank parking on the opposite side of the mall, approximately 3 miles away. Sighs dramatically. "Benson was right. I should have listened to the voice of reason, or at least the GPS." He embarks on the long, arduous trek back to his car, occasionally stopping to wave at bewildered mall-goers who stare at him with a mixture of amusement and concern. Night has fallen. Benson watches with weary eyes as Frank finally pulls up to the mansion, looking utterly exhausted but strangely triumphant. "Sir, the errand was supposed to be a 1-hour affair. Did you perhaps stumble into a time warp?" Deadpan. "Time is a construct, Benson, a fluid, subjective illusion. What truly matters is the richness of the experience." Frank unloads the 30 cans of peaches onto the driveway with a resounding thud. Benson raises an eyebrow, his face a mask of stoic resignation. "And the accordion?" Frank pulls the accordion from the car and plays a series of off-key notes that sound suspiciously like a dying cat. Beaming. Nothing says adventure like the sweet, discordant melodies of a vintage squeeze box. Benson sighs, closing the car door with a gentle click as Frank shuffles inside, his head held high as if he's just conquered Mount Everest. He's a legend in his own mind, and that's all that matters. End scene. So, what have we learned from Old Man Frank's shopping mall escapade? Perhaps that age is just a number, that adventure can be found in the most mundane of tasks, and that sometimes it's okay to get a little lost along the way. Or maybe it's just a reminder to always listen to your chauffeur. Did you enjoy this whimsical tale of geriatric shenanigans? Then don't be a peach. Share this story with your friends, family, and anyone who needs a good laugh. Subscribe to our channel for more hilarious adventures, and leave a comment below telling us about your own shopping mall misadventures. And remember, life is too short to be serious. Embrace the chaos, buy the extra can of peaches, and never underestimate the power of a good accordion.